Hi everyone, so today I'm going to be going over a video that I've been wanting to make for quite a long time. Basically how I never get bored of my 4-year-old Minecraft world, because I've seen a lot of people in the comments say and talk about stuff like, how do you stick to the same world for 4 years without getting bored, I have to constantly start a new world and all that stuff. So I'm just going to be going over some of this stuff because I've been through some of the things as well, some of the struggles with getting bored of Minecraft worlds, because I've been playing Minecraft for much longer than 4 years, but this is the only long-term world I've ever built. So basically I'll just be playing and going over some of the things that allow me to stick to this world. I'll be going over some of the things you shouldn't be doing, and some of the things you should be doing in order to help you stick to a world for as long as possible. So the first point I want to make actually is stop taking it so seriously, because this is one of the problems that I had when I was playing Minecraft. I was taking it so seriously, like I had to build everything perfectly, and everything had to be so serious. And the thing is, Minecraft is supposed to be a game that you play for fun, and you've sort of got to just do whatever you feel like doing in the moment, even if it sounds like a dumb idea or something that wouldn't look good, right? If we're talking about a build project, like this is a perfect example of what I built, and it's literally just a floating island in the sky made up of dirt. And let's take this minecart up there and show you. But it's just a random thing that came to my mind, like why not have like a sky island? I got the idea after this was in 2023 after playing Tears of the Kingdom, the latest Zelda game that came out back then. I got this idea, why not make a sky island in Minecraft? I'm sure other people have made it as well, but I thought it would be cool. I thought you'd be able to look down on the world. Okay. Good thing I didn't fall all the way down. That would have been... I do have an elytra on me anyway, but as I was saying, oh look, we've got a cow here now, so you can finally get... Okay. Right, so literally just don't take it like, look at this, I've got just cows and like just random stuff here. That tower is just like to glide away from, but I've never actually used it. So most of the stuff I build is just random stuff that comes to my mind. And that leads perfectly into the next point that I wanted to make. And the next point is to stop looking at guides. Okay, this is the next thing that you want to avoid doing in order to enjoy Minecraft more. You want to stop looking at guides. And the reason why you want to stop looking at guides is because it will never feel as fulfilling to build something that someone else has designed, even if that something is probably objectively 100 times better than anything that you've ever built in Minecraft, okay? But just the thing is, one of the things that make you stick to a world for as long as 5 years, 10 years, possibly longer, right? That one thing is making sure that your world is personal to you. So if you're using guides for everything you build, of course your world is going to look good, but you're not gonna feel as attached to it, right? I'm sure that differs between people, but I know that I've never felt attached to a world when just building stuff that other people have designed. So you can certainly take inspiration from other people, like if you can guess where I took inspiration from this house, for this house and for this village, right, the Waldorf village, I definitely took inspiration to build this whole thing. But taking inspiration is great, but don't look at like step-by-step guides. You know, it's similar to drawing, you know, like drawing, you know, you're not drawing isn't fun when you just copy what someone else has drawn, or like the steps to draw what someone else has drawn. It's not as fun as drawing your own thing. And also it just doesn't take much skill to copy someone else's drawing. And it's the same thing in Minecraft pretty much. Copying someone else's build is boring. It just doesn't, it's not as satisfying as building your own sort of thing. So I'd recommend against it. I'd recommend not doing that, basically. And the next thing is to stop. The next point that I have to say to stop doing is to stop looking for a purpose, basically. Because I used to do this a lot when I was just playing Minecraft, going from, you know, just creating new worlds constantly. Which, by the way, if you do enjoy creating new worlds constantly, then by all means keep doing that. There's nothing wrong with doing that if you enjoy it. But when I say looking for a purpose, I mean that everything you do or build needs to progress. It needs to cause you to progress further into the game somehow. And this is one of the things that I always struggled with, because I always thought, what's the point of just building stuff if I have no goal or no purpose as to why I'm building it? But you've got to make the purpose the builds themselves. You have to create sort of an actual world, an actual civilization. And one thing that can help is just villagers. So just bring over villagers to whatever you build and create like a little civilization and have different cities or different villages. That's something that I like doing, right? Different villages, different towns, and just bring villagers to these towns and villages that you create. And make it like not for trading. You can have a trading system separate to that. But like make an actual little civilization, basically, where everyone has their job and everything. You know, you're basically, it's like a simulation sort of. That's something that can really help as well. The next thing I would say is to stop. So the next thing that you should avoid doing is to stop forcing yourself to play for the sake of playing, even if you're completely bored. Because even though my world is 4 years old, I haven't played it for 4 years straight. What happened with my controller? I haven't played it for 4 years straight. Certainly not. Like, I've taken very long breaks quite often. My actual progress in the world is probably like 2 years of straight playing, if I'm to be honest. If I'm going to be honest, it's probably 2 years or less. But you see, this is the kind of stuff I mean. Like, you have this diner that I created. Ignore, I know that letter looks terrible, like that. It's supposed to be a D, but it looks quite bad. I took inspiration from this online, but I built it in my own sort of way. I didn't copy a step-by-step guide, and that's one of the things that I recommend more people start doing as well. Also, I don't really like this dirt, so I'm just going to replace it with wood because it looks much cleaner. But yeah, stop forcing yourself to play only for the sake of playing, because you don't achieve anything by doing that. So just take a break and then come back to it when you have more inspiration or something like that. You know what, I'm gonna actually go kill that witch if it hasn't despawned, because I'm playing on a realm, so it probably has. Yeah. Now we're going to move over to some of the stuff that I do recommend doing. So the first thing would be, I do recommend taking inspiration from other YouTubers that you've watched. I don't watch much Minecraft content at all, to be honest, or much gaming content at all on YouTube or on really any platform. But when I did, even when rewatching, series from other YouTubers, when I say other YouTubers, it's really one YouTuber that I've ever watched a Minecraft series on, and that one YouTuber, I've rewatched it about probably 4 or 5 times now. I usually rewatch it once or twice a year, and even when rewatching the series, I always get new ideas, even though I've already watched the series before. It's just because every time you watch it with a clear and fresh perspective. You get new ideas from the same videos. So if you have a YouTuber that you're watching and stuff, take inspiration and implement some of the stuff he's doing, or allow it to give you another. It's a good way for it to give you new ideas based on what the person you're watching is doing. Again, I wouldn't recommend like fully copying someone's idea. Another thing I'd recommend is to make a checklist for your short-term and long-term goals and plans for your world. This is so you always have something to work on. Like, for example, this is what I've been working on recently. I don't know what's happening with my controller. This is what I've been working on recently, and it's really, I don't know the reason why I started working on this, but it's essentially just a massive tunnel. And it just keeps going, basically. And I use it to get my stone and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, definitely. This is one of the things that I was talking about before. Stop looking for a purpose. Like, I'm just doing this for no reason, really. Actually, I'm going to replace this with andesite. There's no real reason why I'm doing this. I could use it in the future for some sort of underground railway system to lead to somewhere, there might be a city above here in the future. So, it opens up a lot of possibilities having this kind of build. But yeah, as I was saying, make a checklist on your notes app or on a notebook, with a pen and just get a pen, your notebook or a piece of paper, and just write stuff down. So you always have something to work on. Just random ideas. Again, they don't have to achieve anything specifically. Especially if you're at a point in your world where you've gotten all the, basic stuff. You've beaten the Ender Dragon. You've done basically every one of the main quests in the game. And if you are more of a combat player, you're not much of a builder, you can still create these notes and these checklists. Just base them around exploring instead of building. So use maps and like explore territory, right? And then use the maps to create a map wall, or find a woodland mansion, turn it into your house, for example. There's a lot of things that you can do that are more exploration related rather than building related. And the next thing I would say, the next point I'd like to make, to create your own building style, basically. And I know I've sort of already talked about this a little bit, but basically what I mean is, let me give you an example of something I built. If we look at this watchtower, it's supposed to be a watchtower, but it looks terrible. But I never destroyed it or anything. I made it, I left it as being part of the world. because I believe that if you have a Minecraft world that is a long-term world, you want to, you know, every time you play Minecraft, you're only going to be playing on this world, at least for single player, right? I believe that you should have some bad builds, right? Leave it's going to become part of the lore for the world. You know, leave some of these bad-looking builds, right? Because they're going to add to the personality of the world. And same as this thing, like, I don't know what I was thinking when I did this, right? I didn't even have an idea of what to build, but it looks cool. I like it. It's, you just go like this, and there's no point to why this is here. It's just to add character to the world, to add personality. And it's because it just gives me something to build. I thought I could make that jump. Yeah, creating your own building style is quite important. And even though I had this watchtower, right, which was quite bad, if we then fly back to where we were before over here, and I named this sort of village, this sort of town, Glowstone Republic, because I built these glowstone flags, and then I thought, you know what, I'm gonna name it Glowstone Republic because I didn't know what to name it. But yeah, so that's what I did for the flags. But yeah, we've got a church. It's sort of like you're pretending that these villagers are actually living their own lives. You've got, well, it's supposed to be a priest, but obviously there isn't a priest, so librarian is the closest thing I could think of. Well, actually, probably there is a closer one, but this block looks more in place, or it looks more like it's supposed to belong there in the church. And you've got this well. So I almost hit the villager. But this is what I mean by the watchtower. This is the new watchtower. And this I did use a tutorial or a guide on not a guide. I just looked at an image on Google and I just copied it. And it's the only thing that I did it for in the entire world. But I am quite happy with it. I think it looks quite nice. Because I just wanted a nice watchtower, to be honest. But this armor shop, for example, I built it on my own, and as you can see, I really like the aesthetic. Maybe you don't like it very much, but I basically made it so that you've got these. They're almost like windows, but it's because the place is so broken down, and it's supposed to, because it's an armor shop, so it's supposed to look a bit. You know, it's got that. It looks like an armor shop to me, but you know, this is what it looks like. You've got this mini train station as well. But yeah, just the main thing I do in Minecraft is I just mine stuff and build stuff. Like that's really what I want to just end on, because that's really all you have to do. There's not much. Don't think about it too much about what you're building or what you're doing. Just get started, right? If you see something that you want to do, like I saw this thing over here, and I decided, why not make it lead back down and then extend the thing, you know, just random stuff like that. Or, you know, create other objectives like get some villagers into the nether or the end and just make a village there, or make a town there. That's the sort of stuff that can be really fun. Then I've got a boatway over here as well, a little boatway that leads to, I believe it's the end. It leads to the end, and I'll fly all the way over there. But you just follow basically this boatway, and it's all like, it's mostly mob proof, and you've got torches, so you basically can't get lost because there's no other way to go when you're following the river. And look, it leads to this village which is where the end portal is. Or underneath it is the end portal. It's quite a safe village because I've lit it up completely. So it's relatively safe. There are still areas that could probably be lit up better. Look at that. There's that's not good, yeah. What is this? But yeah, I like mob proofing stuff. It's quite a nice thing. I know you can just play on peaceful mode and it's not a cheat, but I prefer just having stuff mob proofed. It's one of the things that I find fun to do. And oh, another thing I thought of as well. Make sure when you build stuff, and you don't just build everything at one point. Build different sort of civilizations and villages and settlements further away from each other, and then just interconnect them, either with like an underground system, either like with a boatway, with like a railway with minecarts. You know, boat on ice is the fastest method for like transportation, I believe. I think Elytra's faster, but like, you know, for methods of like for actual transport vehicles, a boat on ice is the fastest. But I prefer train tricks because you can just, you know, on the minecart you can just do nothing. You can just relax and you know, you don't have to press. You don't have to hold W. You don't have to do anything on your controller or on your keyboard. You can just relax, and the journey is completed on its own. And look at this, by the way. This is a village in the sky. It's quite cool. I remember seeing it. I don't know if it's like broken generation or something, like terrain generation. Well, I don't know if it's actually like that. I guess we're going to find out. I think it is actually like that. Yeah, it is. Which is insane. I think it's because... It might be because when I converted this world to Java and then back to Bedrock. This is like really cool, by the way. I really like these sort of like terrain generation glitches or whatever. It's just completely floating in the sky. I actually want to build something here at some point because it looks really cool. I love how it's separated. Just hopefully the villagers don't like drop down and all die, but I think it should be fine. So yeah, this is quite nice actually. You've got the ocean underneath. Cool. But yeah, I think that's where I'm going to end it off. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you watched that all the way through, thank you very much. And that's basically all I wanted to cover. Let me know what you think. Let me know if it's helped you out. And I'll see you all in the next one.